Based on what we did in the last class, this kind of circuit should already be a piece of cake. So let's quickly solve this and see how fast we can be in solving. So go for equation, go for simultaneous equation of two unknowns. The total resistance in the first branch is 3 plus 2, which is just 5. Then between the first and second loops, total resistance in the first loop is just these 2 and these 3. Then between the first and second, we have these 3. So we enter it as minus 3, right? We go around the first loop. This is a drop of 15. Why is it dropping? You're moving from the long line to the short line. So a drop of 15, by the time you get here, a rise of 10. You're moving from the short to the long, so a rise of 10. So we have a drop of 15, a rise of 10. Move to the second loop. Now, before you do second, before you do second and first, that's what 3. So you have minus 3. Then in the second loop, what is total resistance? That's what 3, 1, and 4. 3 plus 1 plus 4. Then move around the second loop, calculate the voltage. This is what a drop of 20 from the long to short. A drop of 20, this is what a rise of 15 from short to long. A drop of 20, a rise of 15. So what's the first current? Minus 1.77. Now notice that I was going clockwise, right? So this is now anti-clockwise current and it is 1.77 amperes. Okay, the second current is what? Minus 1.29. So I was going clockwise, right? Now it is now anti-clockwise. So it points this way, 1.29 amperes. So how am I going to get the middle current? So how you get middle current is that look at the current that is entering here. I have 1.29 entering. Now we know that total current entering must be equal to total current leaving, right? Now the current entering is what? 1.29. The current leaving is 1.77. So if total entering is less than total leaving, that means that there is an additional current that add to this one to now make this bigger current to come out. Just as if 2 people enter a house, then you now see 5 people coming out. So how come 2 people will enter a building and 5 people will come out? That means that 3 people have joined them from somewhere. So that means because 3 people have joined, that means that there's another current that have joined to this 1.29 to now make up 1.77. So that current, I'll just say what? 1.77 minus 1.29. That's what? 0.48. So the current in this branch is 0.48 amperes. You see, it's extremely easy to do. Even while I'm explaining, I still need to use up to a minute to find these values of current. So let's try another one. So this is another one. Let's see what will happen. So you can take this upper one as the first loop, take this lower one as the second loop. Then you go clockwise in both loops. You go clockwise in both loops, right? So let's see mode 5, 1. So in the first loop, you are now in the first loop. So what's the total resistance in the first loop? First loop, you don't have to go backward because there is nothing before it, right? That's the first one. So that's where you start. So in the first loop, what's the total resistance? You have 5, 2, 10, and 3. You are considering only the resistors. 5 plus 2 plus 10 plus 3. Now between the first and second loops, is there any resistor? Yes, there's a 2 ohm resistor. So enter it as minus 2. Anything in between is going to have negative. Now you go clockwise. This was a drop of 15 because you're moving from long to short. A drop of 15 and also what? A drop of 20 from long to short. We have minus 15 minus 20. So now you are now in the second loop. Now because there's a loop before it, you have to do that first. So between 2 and 1, that's the first one you do, which is what? This minus 2. Nothing concern you about the cell for now. You're only concerned about the resistance between the second and first loops. That's minus 2. The total resistance in the second loop is what? This 2 and this 1. You say 2 plus 1. And you do go around and calculate the voltage. Go clockwise. Rise of 20, rise of 10. Right? Rise of 20, rise of 10, drop of 5. Rise of 20, rise of 10, drop of 5. So what's the first current? Minus 0.98. And I was going clockwise, so I will now go anti-clockwise because I got a negative current minus 0. Sorry, it will now be 0.98 because I've changed the direction. So the other current is what? 7.68. So now I was going clockwise, so it will still be clockwise because I got a positive answer. 7.68. Now look at what will happen. You see that this current is coming here. This current is also coming here. What will happen? Both of them will come together and form this current, right? So that means this current will just be 0.98 plus what? 7.68. That's going to be the value. So you can easily do that. 0.98 plus 7.68. So the answer is what? 8.66 amperes. 8.66 amperes. So it is extremely easy. You won't even spend up to a minute once you have practiced it very well. So it is that easy to solve any current. Less than a minute and you have your answers. So this is a 3-loop circuit, right? So this is a 3 loops circuit. So how are we going to do this? Don't have any problem. So we pick our calculator, we choose simultaneous equation of 3 unknowns. We choose simultaneous equation of 3 unknowns. We press mode, we press 5, we press 2. So 3 unknowns means you will get 3 currents, which are the current is follow my arrows, the current on this branch, the current on this branch, and the current on this branch, because those are the branches that are not shared. So you will always be able to get the current in the unshared branches. But for the shared branches, you have to get them manually. After you have gotten those other currents, it's going to be extremely easy to really find them. So let's see what is going to happen. So it starts from the first loop, right? Then you do everything in the first loop, do between first and second, do between first and third. You go to the second loop. You also do between second and first, second and second, then second and third. Then you go to the third loop. You do third and first, third and second, third and third. Please do not forget that. So any loop you enter, make sure you first connect it with the previous ones. Is this thing just as if it's like yesterday, today, and tomorrow? When you are in the first loop, is there any yesterday? No. So that means you start today, you do between today and tomorrow, you do between today and next tomorrow. Now, when you are in the second loop, that means that this is now your today. Is there any yesterday? Yes, there is a yesterday. So do between today and yesterday, you do for today, then you do between today and tomorrow. When you are in the third loop, is there any yesterday? Yes. There is even the day before yesterday. So you have to do for all those ones also. So you do between third and first, third and second before now doing the third. So let's see. In the first loop, what are the resistors? The resistors are what? 1 ohm, 4 ohm, 3 ohm. So you just say 1 plus 4 plus 3 equal to, between the first and second, you have 1. So you enter it as minus 1 equal to, between the first and third, is there any direct connection between the first loop and the third loop? No. There is a whole loop standing in between them. So that means that the resistance between them will be 0. Please take note of that. The resistance between the first and third loop in this diagram is 0 because there is loop 2 separating them. There is no single resistor between the two of them. So now go around the first loop and calculate the voltage. This is what? Go clockwise. A rise of 10, a rise of 5. So plus 10 plus 5. Now you're in the second loop. Now there is something before you. So you have to do second loop, first loop. That's what? 1 ohm. So enter it as minus 1. You now do second loop itself. That's what? 15, 2, 16, 1. 15 plus 2 plus 16 plus 1. Now between second and third loop, we have what? Minus 2. So minus 2. Then go around the second loop, we have what? A drop of 6, a drop of 5, a drop of 6, a drop of 5. Now you're now in the third loop. Now you also have to do third and first. A whole loop is separating them, so it is 0. Now third and second, only one resistor of 2 ohm. Now third itself, you have what? 2 and 10. So 2 plus 10. And go around and calculate the voltage. This is what? A rise of 12, a rise of 6, a rise of 12, a rise of 6. What are the answers? So the first current was 1.85. 1.85. I got a positive answer. So that means I'm still going clockwise. 1.85. 1.85. The second current minus 0.18. So I was going clockwise, right? So I will now go anti-clockwise. So to face this way, minus, that is what, 0.18. That's this current, 0.18. Now equal to, the last one is what, 1.47. And it is positive, that means it's still clockwise. So 1.47. Look at that, I've gotten all the currents. All these currents be, see that this current and this current are coming into this junction, right? This is entering the junction, this is also entering the junction. So that means that both of them will add up together and form this current. So we have 1.85 plus 0.18. So let's see, 1.85 plus 0.18. That gives us what, 2.03. So that means the current in this middle branch is what, 2.03. What about the current here? Now you see that this current is what, coming out of this junction. This current is also coming out of this junction, right? So that means that this current must enter the junction, because total current in must be equal to total current out. So if this is current out and this is current out, automatically the last one must be a current in. You can't just see people coming out of the house without people going in, right? So that means there must have been a current in that now split into these two currents. So the value of this current will now be what? Total current in equal total current out. Total current out is what? 0.18 plus what? 1.47. So you do that, 0.18 plus 1.47. That gives us what? 1.65. So the current in the middle branch is what? 1.65 amperes. So it is what? It is very easy to do. So how do we solve this? Answer equations of three unknowns. So in the first loop, what's the resistance in the first loop? 2, 5, and 6. 2, 5, and 6. So 2 plus 5 plus 6. Between the first and second loop, you have a resistor of 6 ohms. So you enter it as a negative value. Between the first and third loops, there's a loop separating them. That will be 0. Now you're in, okay, now you do the total voltage. This is a rise of 10, a drop of 12. A rise of 10, a drop of 12. Sorry. So go to the next line, which is the second loop. And the second loop, which you do between second and first, that's what, a 6 ohm resistor. So that's minus 6. In the second loop itself, we have what, 6 and 12. So 6 plus 12. Between the second and third loop, which is this line, is there any resistor? There is no resistor. That's 0. Then you calculate the total voltage. You go around, this is a drop of 15, a rise of 12. A drop of 15, a rise of 12. Now you're in the third loop. Between the third and fourth, there is no connection. That's 0. Between the third and second, there is no connect. There is a connection, but there is no resistor in between them. That's also 0. Now in the third loop, there is what, a 10 ohm resistor and a 1 ohm resistor. So that's 10 plus 1. Then go around the last loop. This was a rise of 15, a drop of 20. A rise of 15, a drop of 20. So equal to, so the first current is what? Minus 0.27. So I was going clockwise, so it's now anti-clockwise, and it is 0.27. So this current is what? 0.27. The second current is what? Minus 0.26. So I was going clockwise. I was going this way, and it's not this way. So this was 0.26. And the last current is what? Minus 0.45. So I was going this way, now it is this way. 0.45 amperes. Now, how do I get the current here? You see that 0.26 comes in, 0.27 goes out. the amount that is going out is more than what is coming in. So that means that there must be additional one to come in that must balance it. So let's look at what the value will be. The value will be what? 0.27 minus 0.26. So you have what? 0.01. So that means the current here is what? 0.01 amperes. Let's look at this one. The amount coming in is what? 0.45. The amount going out is 0.26. That means that there must be another one that will come out, right? Because you have what is coming in as 0.45. What is going out? What is going out is not more up to what is going in, or what is going in is greater than what is coming out. So there must be another one that will come out so that it will balance it. And that is what? 0.45 minus what? 0.26. So that is what? 0.19. 0.19. So we have gotten all of the currents. So let's do like two more examples. So the reason I'm having such complex questions is because I'm using calculator. So there is no difference. Nothing is complex here because it's calculator that I'm going to be using. So there's nothing like this one is complex because I won't be doing any long workings. So simultaneous equation of three unknowns, right? Then you can number these loops. Say this is loop one, loop two, loop three, right? So in loop one, what are the resistors? We have 6, 5, 2, and 4. So now there is something else. What if this one had an internal resistance? Let's say that this is 10 volts, comma maybe 0.5 ohms. That means that this resistor is having an internal resistance. I will still do it exactly the same way. All the resistors here is what? 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, and 5. So I say 6 plus 2 plus 4 plus 5. I will also include this internal resistance of 4.5 plus 4.5. That's all. Then between the first and second loop, there is a resistor of 2 ohms. I will enter it as minus 2. Between the first and third loop, there is a resistor of 4 ohms. I will enter it as minus 4. Now go around the first loop, calculate the voltage. This is a drop of 10, a rise of 16, a rise of 15. A drop of 10, a rise of 16, a rise of 15. Now you are in the second loop. Now between second and first, we have what? 2 ohms. So that's minus 2. In the second itself is what? 2, 1, 2, 3. 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3. Between the second and third, you have a 3 ohm resistor. That's minus 3. Go around the second loop, calculate the voltage. This was a drop of 15, a drop of 20. Minus 15, minus 20. Now you're in the third loop. Between third and first, there is a 4 ohm resistor. Minus 4. Between third and second, there is a 3 ohm resistor. Minus 3. In the third itself, you have 4 ohm, 4 ohm, 3 ohm, 3 ohm. So you say 4 plus 4 plus 3 plus 3. Now go around, calculate the voltage. You have what? Minus a drop of 16, a rise of 20. A drop of 16, a rise of 20. So this is what? This is 0.58 for the first loop. So I was going clockwise, right? So that means clockwise is correct. 0.58 amperes. For the second current, minus 4.41. So that means instead of clockwise, it's now what? Anti-clockwise. So 4.41 equal to what? And this was minus 0.49. So that means that this one is also not clockwise, it is anti-clockwise. 0.49. Now it remains the middle currents. What are the middle currents? So how do I get this the current here? So the current here, you see that 0.58 comes in, and from here 4.41 comes in. So there are two currents coming in. So that means the last one must go out of this junction. This is coming into this junction. This is also coming into the junction, right? So that will be what? Let's calculate that. 0.58 plus what? 4.41. That gives us what? 4.99. So the current here is 4.99. How do I get the current here? Or let's get the current here first. Now the current coming into this junction is 0.49. Coming out is 4.41. So that means that there is more coming out than what is coming in. So that there must be another additional one that will come in so that it will balance up with this 4.41. And that will be what? 4.41 minus 0.49. So 4.41 minus 0.49. That's what? 3.92. So this current is what? 3.92. How do I get this current? Now look at this. Coming into this junction, I have what? 4.99. Going out of this junction, I have what? 3.92. So that means that there must be more coming out because the one coming in is more than what is coming out. So there must be another additional one that will come out. And that will be 4.99 minus 3.92. 4.99 minus what? 3.92. That's what? 1.07. That means the current in this branch is what? 1.07 amperes. You see that there is no waste of time here. So the current entering here is 1.27. Coming down here is what? 0.49. And going out here is what? 0.58. See that even if you add this 0.58 plus what? 0.49, it still give you 1.07. 0.58 plus 0.49. It must be 1.07. So look at that. So it is what? It is really easy to solve. Let's solve this last one. So number the loops 1, 2, 3. You can number them anyhow. You can say 1, 2, 3. Doesn't matter. So let's say 2, 3. So let's go mode 5, 2. So loop 1, the resistors are what? Just 1 and 15. So 1 plus 15. There's no internal resistance. 1 plus 15. Between 1 and 2, we have a 15 ohm. That's minus 15. Between 1 and 3, this is the line that connects them. Is there any resistor there? No, that's 0. Go down the first loop, calculate the voltage. Going clockwise, we have what? A rise of 10, a drop of 8. A rise of 10, a drop of 8. Now you're in the second loop. Between second and first, we have a 15 ohm. In the second loop itself, this is the whole of the second loop. The only resistor there is what? 15. Now between second and third, this is the line that connects them. Is there any resistor? There is no resistor. That's 0. Now go around the second loop and calculate the voltage. This is what? A rise of 20. Now you're in the third loop. Between third and first, is there anything that connects them? No. So you have what? 0. Between third and second, is there any connection? No. You have another 0. Now in the third loop, what's the total resistance in the third loop? You have what? 10, 2, and 6. So you say 10 plus 2 plus 6. Now go around and calculate the voltage. There is what? A rise of 8. A rise of 8. So what are the currents? The current in the first loop is what? 22 amperes. So, and it's positive answer. So that means it's going this way, clockwise. 22 amperes. What of the current in the second loop? 23.33 amperes. And it's also positive. That means this one is also going clockwise. 23.33 amperes. And for the last one is what? 0.44 amperes. And it's also positive. That means also going clockwise. 0.44 amperes. And let's get this current, this current, and this current. Let's see. Coming into this junction, you have about 22. Going out, you have 23 point something. That means there must be additional one coming in. And that will be 23.33 minus 22. That's what? 1.33. Right? Mode 1, 23.33 minus 22. That was 1.33. So this current is what? 1.33 amperes. Right? So what about this current? If you want to get this current, you see that going out of here, you have what? 22. Coming in, you have what? 0.44. So that means there must be another one that will come in so that it will balance this 22. Right? You have 22 going out. You have coming in 0.44. So there must be another one that will join this 0.44 so that it will be up to 22. And what will be the value? That will just be 22 minus 0.44. 22 minus 0.44. That's what? 21.56. 21 0.56 amperes. So that's the current coming in. So what about here? What's the current here? You see that this current will come in and it's what 23.33. So we have 20.33 coming in, 4.44 going out. So there must be another one going out so as to balance this value. And what's going to be the value? It will be what? 23.33 minus 4.44. So what's that? 22.89. So this current is what? 22.89 amperes. So they can now ask us calculate the power, calculate whatever whatever it is they're asking you to calculate. It's going to be extremely easy to do once you have known the values of the current. So that is what that's a simple way to solve Kirchhoff's law. I assure you, even in the exam, it's because I'm explaining, that's why I'm taking even up to 1 minute to solve. If I'm not explaining and I want to solve this normally, 30 seconds, I'm done. So there's no need for you to waste your time on Kirchhoff's laws.